Hi, I love summer. It's September, which is still summer, even after Labor Day. I'm not particularly fond of fall, but fall, if you grow tomatoes and you have some green tomatoes on the vine, and you're not sure if they're going to ripen, or maybe you just like green tomatoes, pick them and eat them green. We're going to make sauteed green tomatoes with garlic and green grapes. So you take some green tomatoes, some garlic. I smash the garlic just so that you can take the peel off. Recycle. So you have some smashed whole cloves of garlic. Take the green tomatoes. I slice off the very top and the very bottom. You can fry these pieces, but without a wet side, it's hard to get the flour that we're going to dredge them in to stick without coating them in egg white or something. And I just like to have a sliced wet side on both sides. So I slice off top. The very bottom, just a tiny bit. And then slice them in about, half inch or less. Depends on how big the tomatoes are. Not too thin, because if they're too thin, they'll fall apart very easily when you saute them. If they're too thick, then they just don't get hot in the middle, and they stay a little too crunchy. So there we go with the slices of tomato. Green grapes. About that many. I wash them. Wash them well. And then I spin them just to get them dry. So they're fairly dry. And if they're not completely dry, just run a paper towel over them. The less wet these are, the less they'll spatter. And then you take out about half of the grapes and slice them lengthwise. So half the grapes sliced, I set them aside, and the other half, the whole grapes, I put them in a food processor. I tried squeezing them a few times, and they just don't get all the juice out, and I end up throwing out half the grapes. So in they go. Them good and ground up, and then take them out and set them aside. Make sure you get them all. You don't want to waste any of these delicious grapes. There are a lot of ways you could do this. I talked about squeezing them by hand, but when you puree them, just put them into a colander, whatever this thing is, and then you can press them out, squeeze them out, push them out into the wire mesh, or just use your hand. I suppose you could use a spoon. I'm going to get most of the juice out, because you're going to throw away these skin. Just use the juice. Yes, you could probably use bottled grape juice. It's not the same thing. Not at all. It wouldn't be the same grape. You could probably use different kinds of grapes. Purple, wine grapes. But I like the combination of the tartness of the green and the green tomatoes. Half the grapes cut in half, half juiced, sliced green tomatoes, garlic. Hot, extra virgin, organic olive oil. It's been sitting here, getting nice and warm. Smells hot. Take the garlic, put them in. Make sure they sizzle a little bit. Stir them around from time to time, just until they start to brown. So the garlic is just barely golden. I smash them down a little bit, but I want to be able to take them out without too much of any of the pieces of the garlic getting too brown or burnt even. So you take them out. Oil's still hot. Take the green tomato slices, dip them in, I'll use whole wheat flour. On the wet side, we'll make the flour stick, put them in the oil. The really nice thing is if you have a really big pan, you can do a lot of them, if not all of them at once. Depends on how many you're serving. As they're sauteing, check them from time to time. Again, just want to get them nice golden-y brown. Certainly not dark brown. But you also want to cook them long enough to get them sort of soft. But not so much that they get deep fried crunchy. You might need to add a little bit of olive oil just to make sure that they're covered on the bottom side. The oil doesn't come up over them, and I don't deep fry them. I just saute them in a good amount of olive oil. As they turn brown, flip them over. Golden brown. And you do the same thing to the other side. By the time the other side gets this brown, they should be fairly tender, but not mushy. Some people use a fork, but it's easier to get in and check them. You can also take the fork and lightly jab them to make sure they're not getting too soft and that they're not hard. They're pretty even in brownness on both sides. Tender enough, but not hard. Take the cut grapes. And then make sure that the grapes get down into the oil. They're a little juicy, so the juice will spatter into the oil, so be careful. But you want these grapes just to get hot. And you don't want the tomatoes to get too done. So the cut grapes will get hot. They'll even start to brown a little bit, but you don't want them to be brown. So when it seems everything is good and hot, be very careful with the juice. Drizzle it. Make sure it's hot. Yep. Turn off the fire. Oh boy. So now I have some tomatoes, some cut grapes, and some of the juice. Look at that. It's probably pretty hot. Wow. That is a very different twist on fried green tomatoes.